Los Angeles in my late teens and along the way met my beautiful wife. I am also the proud parent of two college-age young people, a son and a daughter. I teach middle school and I am a third-generation teacher. I am a graduate of California State University, Los Angeles. I obtained a teaching credential and a master's degree in education from Chapman University. In 2005, I was one of the select group of teachers chosen to attend the UCLA Writing Project as a fellow.
Thank you, and thanks, Roni and Cheryl Figueroa for inviting me to give this talk today, and thanks to our guests, our visitors that are here. Thank you very much. I want to applaud Roni and Cheryl for the outstanding job that they're doing in the Garifuna community. We need more people like them who are willing to roll up their sleeves and do the hard work of getting the Garifuna people to work towards preserving our culture. You are here. That means you also have the task of cherishing our culture so that future generations will find it intact the way our families and ancestors fought to keep it alive so that it would not die. I will be talking today about a prayer that my father wrote for us, his beloved Garifuna people. Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream which he shared with the United States and the world. Ted Palacio, my father, had a prayer that includes every Garifuna person living in Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, Nicaragua, St. Vincent, Los Angeles, and the entire United States. I will tell you first a little about Mr. Theodore Palacio, my father. He was commonly known as Ted Palacio. I knew him quite well because he raised me along with my 6 brothers and sisters. Ted Palacio was born in the beautiful village of Franco in 1930. He grew up during a time where few job opportunities existed for the Garifuna people. The choices that existed at the time were, 1, you could become a police officer, you could become a teacher, you could work for the government in the civil service, or if you were a woman, you could become a nurse. You could also become a priest or a nun. Those were the available avenues. 3 things that were very special about my dad were, he was very intelligent, he loved being Garifuna, and he was very religious. He was one of the first Garifuna young men to receive a high school education. He attended St. John's College, which is still one of the best schools in the country of Belize. He then accepted a job as a teacher in the Toledo district. A few years later, he married his childhood sweetheart, Miss Bridget Palacio. That's my mom. And Ted Palacio later won an academic scholarship to go instead for his bachelor's degree at the University of the West Indies in Jamaica. Needless to say, he was ahead of his time and became one of the first Garifuna anywhere to achieve a bachelor's degree and then a master's degree, which he obtained from the University of Calgary in Canada. My father, along with my mom, taught all their children to speak Garifuna. In fact, that was the only language they spoke to us at home. We grew up in Belize City, and we were one of the first Garifuna families to live in the city of Belize. If you think it was difficult for Black Americans to go to an all-white school, it was just as difficult being the only Garifuna person in the neighborhood or in your school in Belize City. We were teased for speaking our language and for eating cassava and fish. We were called Salthead Caribe, which was a derogatory term. Because of this uncomfortable climate of teasing, Queen City preferred not to speak their language. My parents were one of the exceptions. You are a Garifuna and you must speak the language in our house. It was that simple. My father saw the need for the Garifuna people living in Queen City to come together. He started a Garifuna youth group so we could come together, especially around 19th of November, to celebrate our ancestors' arrival to the shores of Central America and in particular Belize. To get back to Ted Palacios' love of God, church, and religion, whenever possible, my dad attended Mass daily, even as a child. He took that practice with him into his teenage years and into his married life, and then when he became a parent, he took his children with him to church. Whenever we would go on a family trip to Danriga or Ijua or Punta Gorda, as soon as we hit mile 1 out of town, my dad would say, instead of let's turn on the radio and listen to music, he would say, let's start praying the rosary. As you can imagine, hearing those words had the effect like a sleeping pill. You would start getting very drowsy. When my parents moved to Los Angeles in the 1980s, my father found out that there was no year-round Garifuna choir. What he found was a handful of people who met in November to practice for a Garifuna Sentiment Day Mass. Ted Palacio realized that the Garifuna community deserved better and could do better than that. He started recruiting from among his friends and those of my mother's, and they were asked to join the choir. This led to weekly practices, and then the choir would sing on Sundays. They would sing at funerals, rosaries, etc. Because he laid down the blueprint, the Garifuna choir is still here in Los Angeles. And we are probably the longest organized Garifuna group in Los Angeles. And we have been serving the community for close to 30 years. That's an awful long time. As you can see, it is only natural that a man who loved God, the church, and loved his Garifuna people, that he would compose a prayer for all of us. This beautiful prayer is inspirational, and I hope as Garifuna people, we will love it, learn it, and share it with our family and friends. This prayer is now getting hundreds of hits on YouTube. I videotaped my mom reading it, so you can get on the internet, get on YouTube, and learn the pronunciation of some of these beautiful but difficult Garifuna words. Future generations will be able to enjoy this prayer thanks to YouTube, Facebook, and other social media networks. So that's the intro telling you the purpose of the prayer and telling you a little about the person who made the prayer. We're going to take a quick break. I don't want you to just have to sit and listen to my voice non-stop. So we're going to have a drawing. Bring the hat at the back so they can remember. Thank you, sir. I should close my eyes, shouldn't I? Yeah.
Pick mine.
Okay, lucky person 434 108.
Uh-oh. He's going to San Diego.
Better than that. Light was invented just for you.
Yay! That's nice.
Welcome, Doctor.
Yes.
Okay, say it again.
Queen.
Reina.
Queen.
Queen. Oh, that's great.
Let's do it in character. Copy everything and then introduce yourself again.
Great, thank you.
Start with your name. Copy it. Queen of Mary Bay.
Okay, good.
Jennifer
You too. Okay, good. Very good. My name is Sally Uribe. Yeah.
Michelle Neribe.
Ronnie Niribe.
Excellent. No more strangers. There is a name to go with the faces. We will say the prayer in English first, so you can get an idea of what the prayer is all about. And we have gotten lots of reviews. People enjoy it. They think it's beautiful, inspirational even. Let us pray together. God,
Our Father, hear the prayer of your Garifuna children rooted here in Belize or any other country, and all from Renago everywhere. You have blessed abundantly in helping us to survive as a people in spite of endless adversities. We also have your complete assurance that you will graciously continue to shower us with your rich blessings if we remain faithful to you. This we know and are pledged to do with your ever-present generous help. Lord, you are fully aware of our plight and how we might need most. Yet, since you encourage us to seek, ask, and knock, we humbly bring our petitions before you. Bring all Garifuna together as one big happy family, each member duly concerned about each other's welfare. Give us the insight and we will solve the many problems that confront us as individuals and as a people. Make us cherish and promote the culture with which you bless us. Pass it on whole and entire to our children. Help our children to be proud and appreciative of what they are, to avail themselves of other opportunities to open them and seek others.
Beneficial to themselves and to their community. Lastly, dear Lord, help us also work hard and use freely our many gifts in your service and for the good of all people. We ask all these through Jesus
Christ, our brother and Savior, who lives with you and the Holy Spirit, and through the Blessed Mother Mary. We also pray, Lord, in union with the spirits of our beloved ancestors. Amen.
What do you think of the prayer so far?
I like the last part about the ancestors, because that's not very Catholic sounding, so I think that kind of like has a real impact, you know?
Very insightful.
True.
It speaks to how important the ancestors are in the Garifuna culture. We always honor and think about them and invite them to keep us in their mind or keep us in their prayers with the hope that we will be reunited with them one day. What I personally like about this prayer is that it has the idea of a contract. We do certain things, and in exchange, God will be ever faithful, and He will preserve, look after us, and He will lead us always. So the thing to do is we have to do our part. We have to love one another. We have to include God in our lives, seek to call on Him for help whenever we need it, work together
Yay!
And my son Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
And because you walked in last, you get a ticket with a number so you can possibly win a prize.
Yay!
Yeah, see, it pays to be late sometimes.
You did it not in the house, right? Not in real
There
school.
you are. Something else that I like about this prayer, it reminds us of the sufferings of the Garifuna people from the time we were exiled onto the shores of, we were expelled from St. Vincent, and we were left to the winds to travel throughout the region wherever we landed. That would eventually become our home. And we didn't know our ancestors, our forefathers didn't know where we would end up. And we didn't know what lay in store for us. So that must have been very traumatic and very scary. You don't know what's going to happen if you wind up in Nicaragua. If your boat landed on the shores of Honduras, how are they going to treat you there, or in Guatemala, or in Belize? And in fact, different people have different experiences based on wherever they wound up. And one of the things that I would like to do down the road is to interview and meet extensively with Garifuna people from those other places. My experience of being Garifuna is pretty much limited to what it was like for me in Belize. So by talking occasionally with people that I've met from Honduras or Guatemala, I sort of have an idea, but I haven't done any research, so it's really hard for me to know what their experience is like. I tend to be a little biased, and somehow think that Belizeans might have come out on top with regard to opportunities
True.
to learn English.
True.
Right? That's a big bonus.
True.
And in other areas, we're able to be very involved in the country of Belize. We have infiltrated and contributed to all aspects of life in Belize, from the street sweepers, move on to teachers, nurses, politicians, lawyers, and so on. Opportunities are there now for every Belizean, and that includes every Garifuna. This was not the case when my parents were growing up. Their options were really, really narrow. So, again, it's something that would be great to be able to compare notes, meet with Garifuna people from everywhere, and sort of compare notes and talk to them and share our experiences. And this prayer then is all encompassing in that every Garifuna person, it's praying for them and for their future. And there is a need for us to work in unity and cooperation, because when my parents were growing up, there was not a Garifuna class that they could come to learn the language. It was up to the parents. So the parents had to be strong, and they had to have a sense of purpose and a sense of self-preservation to pass on the language, the culture, and traditions. But now here in Los Angeles, lots of parents are not teaching their children the language, the history, and the culture. So I'm saying that to applaud the work that Ronnie and Cheryl are doing here at Luba Flame. Let's give them a round of applause. So we will have another drawing. find out.
108, 108.
108 again. It can't be 108 again.
Oh, sorry.
No, do someone else.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want everything.
You are very lucky.
I know.
So you might get a ticket today.
Thank you.
We'll make sure it doesn't happen.
Okay. 4, 3, 4, 1, 0, 4.
104, yay!
Hey, good for you. And your prize is a business card. Just kidding.
That's bad.
You get a flash, a silver flash. Batteries not included. What the heck, I'll make an exception.
So now when you go to Barranco or PG and the lights go out and you have the flashlight.
You will be good. So, to get back to the prayer, it's there in English. We're going to take a look at it in Garifuna. It's going to be a struggle even for native Garifuna speakers. It's really a handful. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it, and I feel blessed the more I think of it and incorporate it in my life. The prayer starts, first paragraph. Bongil wabuchi, agamba be hafureido, birahi garinogo, hayabaya balisi, well in our case, hayabaya LA, luma hafureido su garinogo su halia. Adamuriti babinuriniwa, lira bideruguniwa, lua bageribu, kesi aba mut, lari gen wasigro lira gen sun lueri lamiselo. Rubu muti gen, yurugu li gen wom, lua soberini lo lawi ha meme bala, lirisi bedewe ha wawagu, ahe agumucha, wedere gwagu wungwabu. Which we bo wele lo buma meme badiwala. And the highlight of that section is we're asking God for his help and his intercession on our behalf. And we're giving him our word that we will follow him, seek him first, and that he will continue to bless us abundantly. There is a word that I struggled with, and I'm going to call on one of the young people to give us their best rendition of that word. And if you're able to say it to my satisfaction, well, you might get a prize. Let's look at line. Let's look at line 1, 2, 3, 4. The first word. Does anyone here know how to say that word?
Try it. I'm not a young person.
Let's start with Karina.
Line 4?
Yeah, first word. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's L-A-W-I-Y-U-H-A.
Okay. Love you?
You're in the right track, but there's an A at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Young lady?
Love
Wow, you kind of nailed that. Young lady,
Remember the stress mark.
Someone. Over here. Wow. Okay, so it's pronounced Lawiuha, but This little one, I think, came super close.
Yay!
So we're going to give her an extra
Lawi
ticket.
you. Lawi you.
Increase so she can possibly win again. There you are. Welcome, welcome. There is another word. Let's see. The blessings will pour down like rain. Lauyuham. Yeah, very expressive. Now let's look at the next paragraph and then we'll choose another word. We'll take a volunteer, Becky. Paragraph 2, start reading. Dr. Sally? You like, okay.
Michelle? That's right. Oh.
Good. Perfect, Becky. Excellent. We're going to move on to Dr. Michelle. You got a name.
Maybe Casey, le ada habane niwa ni walua ni walu loka da kam ni whatever you are the bena which you the nye wamuria mani
You must be a linguist.
yeah.
Are you?
I work in language.
Oh my gosh, that was impressive. Kisani, let's give you a crack at the next line. Wow, perfect. Keep it up. Karina. If I come back next year, we'll pick on Sally. We're giving you a break this time.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Ruma, Anichibu, Ruma, Kuswe, Wungun, Waganyahan, Yun, Kadan, Piwa, Waya, Ababa, Waya, Suwa, Laudi.
Wow, it sounds beautiful.
Nice.
I'm not sure it's Garifna, but it's
Sounds good.
sounds musical. This is what it would sound like. It should be Ruba Anichulu, Luma Buswewu, Luba Garaniha, Lugada Tiwa, Wagia Aba, Aba Wagia, Sungwa Wag. Okay.
I could try one line out of the head.
Thank you, Roni. Next paragraph.
Adugaba, Lu Hisien, La Wechuwom, Bumagien Liabi, Inyuraha Wame, Segugu da Wame, Me Ladigwalu,
Whoa.
Hon Wasanigu.
You must be cheating. You, my friend, probably went on YouTube and listened to it. It's good. What's your secret? Tell us.
I think it's practice
Okay.
and I would say a little bit of grammar and just following the rules of
Language. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, you're a natural. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Lidera banya wasani gulu panta hama lao katanyanu la gunda hagia me
Oh.
howagwa o sera hame soon buitile nyubuti home aluga hage me lawan le lunti la sewidu nia seri wilanya me gien Raduño.
If it's okay with you guys, Ronnie gets a prize automatically. You, my friend, you will be seeing in the dark.
Sereme.
Welcome, before I can die. Let me get you the batteries before I forget.
Sereme, sereme. Hold it for me, Sammy. Thank you.
Get them to you later, Ronnie.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
Okay, because we have such a smart class, we will say the last paragraph together.
All right.
Count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Luago lagmumohon wabude merao idera bawa bien lu wadi marido.
Mabucha Ligiame Wawagu Osele Sule Dewe Habe Mu Lida Buwadi Mari Luma no Habidu Me Sumut Amure Hawamuti Sule Lida Ge Tesu Cristo Wabiri Wasalvaraha Le Abagaritu Be Buma Uara Luma Afrugo Gofoliti Luma Ge Tira Ge Waguchu Maria Biniwat Ura Wagwagida Wamuti Gen Wafuredu Wabureme Luma Hayumaha Ahari Wayunabu Hahisi Mayamu Itarala.
Itarala.
Amen. So that's the prayer and the dream that my parents, well, my mom and my siblings, our family, is that the Garifuna people will use this prayer as motivation, as encouragement. It will be used at all Garifuna special events. The prayer is including all Garifuna, present, past, and future. There is a continuum, and we need to call on our resourceful ancestors, remember them when we're going through tough times, that we've come a long way, and our ancestors survived because they were very resourceful. They were not afraid of work, and if you go by this prayer, they were extremely spiritual people in their own religion. And then when Christianity came along, they embraced it and they were able to borrow and fit it into their own religious life. And how many of you believe that religion is important in your daily life? Okay, a higher power, higher being. Okay, very good. Before I conclude, I'm going to ask you to tell me something that you remembered about either Mr. Theodore Palacio, who was my dad, or maybe you remembered something about my own bio sketch, or something that you thought about the prayer. So this is the audience participation component. Anything that, good morning, come on in, grab a seat. So, thank you, Sally.
I found it interesting that there was bullying going on back, in those days.
There was
Bullying about what you ate. I thought that was so really unusual. Like the fish and
Cassava.
they would teach you about that.
Yeah. Well, kids being kids, and they're on their way to discovering, to building up their own self-esteem at the expense of someone else's, they will find something to tease you about it or make up something to try to belittle or demean someone else. And I think it's sort of not a universal experience, but I think it was also to some extent encouraged by society at the time because the kids got the attitude from their parents. Yeah. Thank you.
Good point.
Anyone wants to continue Sally's train of thought about bullying and being teased? How many of you have ever been teased about your Garifuna last name? Oh, what's your last name?
Laurie.
Oh, okay. Okay. How do they tease you? What do they say?
This boy in third grade, he said that my last name was Nose, but my last name was Laurie, and he always teased me.
Oh, see, he was not familiar with such a beautiful name. Yeah, so definitely our names were often dead ringers that you could not fit in with a last name like Palacio if you were black, or if you were Hernandez, you definitely were not part of the larger community. So there are ways that people could identify you, single you out, and sort of treat you and belittle you. Go ahead. Yes, Sally.
Is this proposed or from a prayer? So it has to be like voted on or something? I'm just curious.
Yes, we're going to stack the voting by going on social media and use peer pressure to let people realize that prayers are important, and this is one by a pretty important Belizean man who accomplished a lot in his lifetime, and he has left a legacy behind that we can really learn from his life. I think he's a good example for young people to know about and follow some of the things that he did. We're going to go around the room and kind of find out why you're here today. Young lady?
Well, I'm here today because I want to learn more about my culture, and I want to learn the language.
Excellent. Your parents are from where?
I believe.
Really? I thought you were Guatemalan. Ah, okay, good.
I'm here because my grandma and grandpa, they speak they speak Garifuna. I don't understand what they're saying sometimes, so I'm trying to learn what
They say a lot of stuff about you, Betty. I don't blame you for wanting to break the code to find out what they're saying. Smart. How about you?
I'm here to learn how to speak Garifuna and my grandpa and my grandma.
Good. Smart move.
And my mom, she speaks Garifuna too, and the first time we came here, when I went home, I was talking to my mom in Garifuna, and I never learned she would understand.
So after you learn, you'll be able to actually talk with her and understand some of the Garifuna jokes. I might be biased, but the Garifuna jokes I think are some of the funniest. Karina?
I would say we just wanted to learn more about our culture and learn the language. My grandfather was very good. Unfortunately, I didn't see the importance of being so young.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I realized it's a very beautiful culture and something that I think
Nice.
we should continue to spread.
Nicely said, and the older you get, the more you appreciate it that you are who you are, and that's not going to change. And it's up to you to see the value in it. It's going to help you understand your parents, grandparents, your culture, but most of all, it'll help you understand who you are. Why are you here for, Sally?
Well, I've been to Belize a couple of times.
No
and
way.
really, and Dangriga quite a bit.
Really?
So I'm going back in November, and I want to be able to at least have a couple words to say to people. I want to, embrace a little bit more, because most of my friends down there are Creole. So, but I love the drums. I've always loved the drums my whole life. My grandfather played the drums, and my mom was a dancer. So I've always really loved the music, and so I just wanted to be a little educated, not just go down there feeling I don't know anything.
You're a very enlightened person, and if I were you, I would take up learning how to play the drums as well. It's probably in your bloodline. Yeah.
Although it's not, I think that, what is it, the men they're the warriors and the women is the fertility dance. They're supposed to only dance, not drum.
Well,
Right?
we're in the 21st century. Everything is fair game.
Oh, wow.
Isani, why are you here today?
I'm here to learn the language so I could talk to my grandma in the church.
Okay. You're not being forced, are you?
Don't say it.
Great. Grandma is going to think the world of you if you know how to communicate in her favorite language.
And Grandma's right behind him.
Hello. How are you? Dr. Michelle.
I'm here to learn about the culture and the language, and so I can teach it, and also to do some of the reciprocity that you talked about in terms of the contract here of payback, because Garifuna people have been so wonderful to me.
You are a fixture in our Garifuna events, and I always see you and I feel good when I see you. It encourages other Garifuna people. If outsiders can treasure what we have, there must be some value in it, so it's a good way to inspire our own people.
And I was at your father's memorial in Belize City with Jessie.
You were?
Who's in town, so that's why I was checking my phone to contact her.
Jessie.
Nunez Castillo.
Okay.
Asiatic's mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Asiatic's mom.
Oh,
Your
the
father
favorites.
had been a vice principal in the school she taught at,
Yes,
so she
he
knew
did.
her quite well.
Yeah, he was very fond of her, and she was in one of his Garifuna groups that he founded. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Dr. Michelle. Jackie.
Well, I'm here to support. We have incorporated this prayer into our Garifuna Mass, which
Wow.
is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right? 3?
At 3 o'clock, and Mr. Palacio had brought out the prayer, and it's so beautiful that is, that is bringing, I think he's called our people to be conscientious about who we actually are as a Garifuna. So I'm really ask our support, and as I came in and I saw your banner, I said, well, I was more than pleased. Because I've been like worried because I don't know where you were. I feel very happy to be here.
All right.
Hey, thank you, Becky. Becky is a person that loves music. She's in our choir, and she is very Garifuna minded. And I grew up in Belize, Central Belize, and I know nothing about Guatemala. Becky is from Guatemala, so from time to time I practice my Spanish, and I try to teach her Garifuna. Why are you here, young man?
To give my father support and to listen to the prayer. Everybody reciting the prayer that my grandfather will.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy. How are you?
Mr. Morales. Mr. Palacio. For support.
Oh, great.
Support. Growing up in Sinbai, and we have to speak Garifuna at that time when our grandparents, because we didn't have no other choice but to speak Garifuna. So that's what we were. But sometimes on my job, somebody in Creole come and start talking Creole. Somebody Garifuna, hey, no mother, and somebody say, how many languages you speak? Somebody go, hey, how you doing? And then, hey, no mother, I don't know. I was like, how many languages do you speak?
Right.
So, when people go to the hospital and our people, and they want to say, okay, this is what's going to happen, to explain, resources for them and all of that.
Excellent. I want to first congratulate you on having a very strong daughter and son-in-law who love Garifuna very much, and that had to have come from you. And now we're getting the next generation with Isani involved, and there are so many stories that we can get from the different generations that will really empower our young people. If you think that times are hard now, ask the elders of the community some of the things that they had to go through. And you mentioned that that your parents, that the only language spoken was Garifuna in the village. Right, right. And once you learn one language, it's easier to pick up a second and a third. So those are some of the fringe benefits of learning Garifuna. Well, my time is up, and I really want to thank everyone for coming out, and we'll probably close with another super awesome.
Very nice. Okay. Thank you so much.